Welcome to Explain America. I'm your host, Kyle Becker. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, whatever happened to Anthony Fauci? Whatever happened to Adam Schiff? Well, they were granted these preemptive pardons under the Biden administration, and there are some developments with that you're going to find very interesting, because if they thought they could escape accountability because they got a preemptive pardon, well, they have another thing coming. But before we get into this, please like, share, and comment Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Well, let's get right to Adam Shifty Schiff. I mean, this pencil neck loser actually is in a lot of hot water right now because Kash Patel just declassified some documents, some transcripts that show that Adam Schiff colluded with fellow staff members to release declassified information on Donald Trump. Now, we're still ascertaining what exactly was the nature of this Russiagate-related information, but it was an absolute smear job. And if you go to this transcript, you likely will see some reporting on this, but this transcript shows that he got into a back and forth about releasing declassified information to smear Donald Trump and indict him, but staff members were pointing out to him that it's treason. And guess what? Adam Schiff didn't care because they thought, well, we're not going to get caught. Well, here's the interesting thing about that. Adam Schiff could be brought before Congress and forced to testify under oath, and because of the preemptive pardon, he won't be able to plead the fifth. And here's another thing. Anything he says, if it's a lie under oath, and Adam Schiff loves lying like he likes breathing, he will also face consequences because preemptive pardons don't cover that. So Adam Schiff looks like the hunter has become the hunted here. You have defied your oath of office, and you have corrupted the law, and you have perverted your seat in Congress to become nothing more than this little yapping attack dog. A little chihuahua that just, barks and barks and barks, jumps onto Donald Trump's pant leg, tries to pull his leg off. No, sorry. Donald Trump is now the president of the United States. He has the Department of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, all looking into the nefarious activities of you and your pals who thought you could bring a sham impeachment against him. An absolute ludicrous case, which it's very interesting, this whole idea that you always attack Donald Trump for what you're doing. Well, remember the quid pro quo? President Biden going overseas, talking about the prosecutor, Shokin, and how, hot damn, he got fired, right? Because, he was looking into Burisma. And that's happened to be where your son was working, wasn't it? With a pretty sweet gig, by the way. Well, that was the quid pro quo. And Donald Trump on his phone call, he wanted the truth about Biden's quid pro quo, right? Because that was a threat to national security. And he had a legitimate interest in finding threats to national security, including from the former president of the United States. So your impeachment of him was a complete farce. It was a cover-up job because of you and your corrupt pals, including the whistleblower. This cabal that you put together to try to corrupt the process, to commit election interference, to essentially engage in a coup against the sitting president of the United States based on lies, well, it's coming to light now. And we see the transcript. You wanted to leak classified information. That is a crime. It's not a difference of opinion. This isn't right arguing with the left. If the right did it, it would be a crime. If the left does it, it's a crime. This is what we care about at Explain America. We care about accountability. And since the corporate media, they only care about holding Republicans accountable, well, we are going to provide the balance that you need to see the whole picture and see that the Democrats are completely corrupt and off the rails. And that includes Adam Schiff. And Anthony Fauci, there's more than enough transcripts and evidence there that he knew he was lying. We have his emails. Okay, we know he was lying. He lied about the masks. He lied about lockdowns. He lied, from day one. And we're still waiting for that weasel to be held accountable. That's what he is. He just retired. He's one of the highest paid civil servants in U.S. history. And he had a fat pension. And Fauci still needs to be held accountable. I'm sorry. This is like, if you were making a list, this is like number, 100,000 of the things that we need accountability for. But Adam Schiff, actually, there's a glimmer of a chance that he could be held accountable because we see the transcript, we see the crime, the suggestion of the committal of a crime on paper. It's an official document. It's a transcript. It is evidence. And we just need to hunt down and get the hard evidence of the classified information. And look, they leaked it all over the place under the Biden administration. They leaked to New York Times. They leaked to Washington Post. Ain't no question about that. There were leakers aplenty tied to Schiff. And we're going to find out what exactly was leaked in this transcript. It actually shouldn't be that difficult to find out because I see already some crack investigative work being done about who was in that meeting with him, which was not disclosed, but you could make inferences based on the descriptions in the transcript. So Adam Schiff, wow, that would be a good place to start for accountability. What do you think? So if you have any thoughts about this story, please like, share, comment, explain America. We appreciate your support.